How's it going, guys? It's your boy back at it again with another video. And in this one, I want to discuss the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. I think it's an interesting turning point for that kind of an amendment. And to start everything off, I believe everybody should have the right to an abortion. But, it's not really my place to say anything because I'm a fucking guy. But, anyway, let's get started. So, here we go. Let me pull up the article. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Biden braces for Supreme Court to overturn Roe after months of planning next steps. President Joe Biden is bracing for a Supreme Court ruling that would strip away nationwide abortion rights in the U.S., potentially setting off mass protests and heaping pressure on the White House to act, according to officials, even as there remains little he can do through executive action to fully mitigate the anticipated decision. The nearing announcement, which is expected to come within the next 2 weeks as the Supreme Court concludes its term, will punctuate months of contingency planning at the White House and lobbying efforts by abortion rights activists who want Biden to take immediate action. We must be ready to stand as a united front when the decision comes down, Vice President Kamala Harris told a group of reproductive rights leaders Wednesday in a video conference while she described the myriad hurdles women could face when seeking abortions. Harris did not lay out in detail any actions the administration is prepared to take when a decision comes down. Behind the scenes, the steps the president is considering include eliminating barriers to accessing medication, abortion, and challenging state laws that criminalize out-of-state travel to receive an abortion, according to people familiar with the discussions. Harris has heard from privacy experts about how law enforcement could use period tracking apps to monitor for abortions and the possibility that embryo destruction could become more difficult for those who have in vitro fertilization. Advocates for communities of color and undocumented immigrants have raised specific concerns to the White House about women in those groups accessing abortion across state lines, and state lawmakers have pressed for more federal resources to help manage what many describe as a looming crisis. We're exploring every option to respond to the upcoming decision and to protect access to reproductive health care, including abortion, White House Gender Policy Council Chair Jennifer Klein told Wednesday's virtual meeting. White House keeps its cards close to the vest. The White House has been hesitant to reveal what executive actions the president is considering as the court nears the end of its term. Biden himself skirted specifics when he told late-night host Jimmy Kimmel earlier this month that he was weighing steps should the justices strike down Roe v. Wade. Okay, and in this article, Roe v. Wade, live, Supreme Court eliminates constitutional right to abortion. Without Roe v. Wade, approximately half of U.S. women will be stripped of their right to choose. American women, healthcare providers, and pro-choice activists are bracing to hear whether Roe v. Wade has been overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court, with the latest batch of case opinions due to be released starting 10 a.m. Eastern Time today. The court released 4 decisions on Thursday morning, leaving 9 to be unveiled ahead of the summer recess that begins at the end of this month. Among those is the widely anticipated decision on Dobbs v. Jackson's Women's Health Organization, a draft opinion for which was leaked in May. The opinion, which is presumed to have the backing of most or all of the court's conservative justices, met with widespread outrage, not least since the three conservatives appointed by Donald Trump claimed during their confirmation hearings that they would recognize Roe as precedent rather than overturning it. While Democrats rush to protect reproductive rights in their states, some Republican senators are instead focusing on the circumstances leak and have called for people who leak Supreme Court decisions before they are publicly released to be 10 years in jail and a fine of $10,000. These people need to calm down and get laid, but they can't because they're going to die on a court. Because that's America. I love my country. Don't you? Anyway, basically, and now it looks like we've come to a decision. Supreme Court Roe overturns Roe v. Wade in 6-3 decision. Every week, the journalists at the Detroit Free Press work tirelessly to bring you important quality journalism that's relevant to you and other Michiganders. I'm in Florida right now, but that's besides the point. What the fuck? That's not the one. There we go. Roe is no more. On Friday morning, a divided U.S. Supreme Court overturned the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision guaranteeing the right to an abortion, clearing the way for dozens of states, including Michigan, to either renew laws already on the books or propose new ones that criminalize or permit the procedure. In reversing both Roe and the 1993 Casey decision, which reaffirmed a right to abortion but gave the states more leeway in setting restrictions, the conservative majority of the Supreme Court said the previous decisions were wrong and that it fell to legislatures in the states to determine whether and when to allow abortions other than in cases where a pregnant person's life is in danger. Interesting. The court voted 6-3 to overturn Roe and uphold a Mississippi law that effectively prohibits abortions after 15 weeks earlier than the 23 or 24 weeks at which a fetus has been considered viable or able to survive outside the womb. Abortion bans prior to viability have been ruled unconstitutional under Casey until now. Basically, politicians hate children for some reason, and that's why they let the Uvalde shooting happen, but that's another video for another day. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why old white men can, decide what a woman wants to do with her body. I mean, they're already on the controlling side of women for the most part. It's not like they don't need any more control. And not to mention that there are already fucking politicians that are already soulless. So there's that too. But yeah, Society is slowly crumbling, and that is the point of my YouTube channel. The end.